Welcome to the Pharaoh's Realm podcast. I'm your host, BlackPharoah. And on today's show, we have somebody super special, not because she's from the planet of Brooklyn, not because she's one of the top female streamers on Facebook gaming, not because she was the first recipient of the pipeline scholarship, but she's one of the most awesome streamers that you will ever meet, forever engaging in her community, will slay in a gun battle, a sweat in a gun battle, and then turn and immediately comment to her community and show them a lot of love. She makes sure she shows a lot of love to her community, and you see, unlike other people will be like, I'm focused, I'm here. She'll, like I said, she'll kill somebody, turn, chat, and then turn and get right back to business. So I want to welcome to the Pharaoh's Realm podcast, the one and only TelleVision.
Hello. What's up?
So again, thank you for joining us today. So, like I said, shout out to, and I believe you're from Crown Heights. So shout out to everybody from Crown Heights. Like I said, a lot of good memories riding through Crown Heights. Shout out to those who participate in the Eastern Parkway Parade. I haven't gone in years, but they used to shut it down.
Yeah.
Juve the night before. Oh, used to be a lot of fun. So definitely shout out to Crown Heights. But I want to open up with this question. Yep. What game was the first game to get you started in gaming? Not streaming, but actual gaming itself.
So very, very young. My first game I ever touched was actually Sims. I had a laptop. My mom had bought a Sony Vaio, and it was purple. It was really cute. And I just fell in love with Sims. I used to get lost in it for hours. And it was really just a comfort game for me at the time.
Okay, wow, that's interesting.
A lot of people don't know that.
Do you play? Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because you hear, typically the Marios and, some of the other more popular games, but not necessarily Sims. So what were some of the things that you did in Sims that really made it fun?
It was more so making a family because at the time, we went through like a traumatic time period where we were kind of like, moving from home to home. So I guess it was kind of like a mental thing for me to kind of just like create a family that was structured and actually had something going on. And then over time, it got better. Like our situation got better, me and my mom, and we actually settled down in Coney Island, Brooklyn. But at the time, we spent a lot of days just moving around, moving. So that game kept me really grounded.
Yeah, shout out to Mom Dukes for holding it down. Like I said, I know that, I'm familiar with that as well. Well, we didn't move around, but our family structure, was kind of shifted at times. But, shout out to all the moms out there that be holding it down.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So again, you have a large following on Facebook gaming. And like I said, you are, one of, you were probably one of the top female streamers on Facebook gaming as far as, followership and content creation. But tell us one thing that your community may not know about you.
In my personal life?
It could be anything.
Let's see. I like to crochet.
You like to what?
I like to crochet.
You like to really?
Yes. I used to make.
So what are some of the things you make? Because now my grandmother crocheted. I remember she used to make us them Christmas sweaters and stuff. And
I'm not that good, but I used to make like hats.
What are some of the things you've made? You've crocheted?
Yeah, I used to make like some of my niece's hats and scarves. I attempted gloves, but that didn't go so good. But hats and scarves.
Sanders gloves? No Bernie Sanders mittens?
Hats were really good. That's when I learned the curved needle and just like it was good. It was a good time.
Yeah, that's actually such a lost art because, I know, you're around the same age as my daughter, and she has and my sister, my younger sister, my daughter, the same age. You're all about the same age. And she has no idea about crocheting. I don't even think she remembers my grandmother crocheting, but to hear you saying, "Wow, that's such a lost art and such a skill set." You got to bring one of your creations on stream. I'm telling you, you'll get a lot of love on that.
So I actually don't have any of them. I gave them to my nieces. I made them and gave them to my nieces. Yeah.
You should do a crocheting stream. Just one stream where you're just
Imagine.
starting, maybe just an hour, just starting it and
Mm.
talking to you, like maybe like as a just chat, just throwing it out there. I don't need no credit for it, truly no credit, but just do a crocheting, like an hour, just as part of your just chat, and then, maybe a week later you show them the finished product or something like that. I think that would be cool.
That's not bad at all.
Me know what my grandmother used to do with that. Oh man! But like I said, we used to get the itchy sweaters and all that other stuff, and she tried to make it. My sister, the oldest of my sisters, she tried to make a tie one time. I was like, I can't wear that.
Oh no, not the tie.
So, what was some of the best advice you've received as a streamer?
Do not try to meet everyone's expectations. That's something that really hit home for me because I realized that I was kind of like a people pleaser when I first started. I always wanted to make sure that everyone was good, but I never really focused on what did I want, where do I want to go in this space. Not what everyone wants me to do, but what do I want to do? So when I first started, I actually was I wouldn't say all over the place a lot, but you'd see me dive into Blackout, which I didn't really enjoy that much. I did zombies. Yeah, it wasn't a good time. I did zombies, which I really liked, but because a lot of people wanted to see my Blackout gameplay, I dived into that and I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like the large Blackout map, but I found joy in Alcatraz. So now you'll see me running like Rebirth because I'm used to that map. Yeah. So I'm used to that map because I played it in Blackout when I didn't like the larger map. Yeah.
I tell people all the time, and I've said this even on podcast. I totally hated Blackout. Like, it felt too much PUBG-ish to me, and I'm not a big PUBG guy, and it just didn't feel like their own. And then they hit a home run with Warzone, but then now they're back to striking out because, you got the hackers is crazy.
Oh, it's insane.
They had the software Overwolf that you can use to find if there's hackers in your game. They just banned that software, but you couldn't ban the software that the hackers was using to hack your game. Like,
That's
it
crazy.
was crazy because to me, it just showed guilt that they know the hacking software is out there, and they just, they were still making their money. It's a free game. They really didn't care about it.
Right.
So what do you think about the new map? Because I'll tell you this: if I would have known that a nuke would take us back to 1984, and I know you may not have been born in 1984 necessarily, but for me, if a nuke would take us back to 1984, I would have said, Trump, push the nuke button and send us back in time, let us back in time. But what do you think? What do you think about the new map?
I like the reskin. It's different. It gives you something new to look at. I like. I always say this on stream. I like how they paid attention to detail. Like, they paid attention to the floors and the walls, even like down to the utensils that were used. The buses, they changed some of the buses. More foliage. There's a lot more trees. I'm not really good as a sniper, but it is something different to look at. I do also get a lot of people that come in. They're like, are you mad that it's not a new map? And I'm like, they kind of didn't say it was going to be an entire new map. They said it was going to be a new experience. And that's kind of true. We wanted a new map, but they never really said, hey, we're about to give you a new entire map.
Yeah, and it is a new experience. I kind of like because to me, having an older set of eyes, the color pops a little bit more, so I can see a little bit better. The rose skin pops, so you can see rose now, not necessarily hiding in the corner. So, yeah, to your point, I didn't even think about it from that way, that they did say new experience. That I personally wanted a new map, but just seeing, some of the buildings completed and some of the buildings, are seeing like the stadium isn't even finished, like. Seeing a lot of that architecture, to your point, taking it back 20, 30 years. I think they took it back almost 30 years in gameplay. So I didn't even, I didn't even see it from that perspective.
Yeah, I had to think about it too.
Wow. So As I mentioned at the start, like I said, when I first, came across your content was through the interview you did with Stone. I want to say back in, I want to say July or August of 2020. At the time, you were you were transitioning from full time student to full time content creator. You have a lot of people out here that are in school or working a full time job, or in school working a full time job and streaming. What has been your transition like from full time, student and maybe part-time streamer to now, full-time content creator? Because I think you're to me, you're more than a streamer. You're a content creator now.
Yeah. So I'm actually full-time content creator for the moment. I do want to, like I always say, I always want to finish my last year, whether it's just from, a home standpoint, doing online courses or going to an actual institution and sitting inside. But I do want to just finish off that degree. And I spoke to a couple of my mentors about that. But back to the transition from being full-time student to, I guess, full-time content creator, it was a little tough because I was saying to myself, like, how am I going to provide for myself if I didn't have any of this around me, if I wasn't in this scenario, like, where would I be? And now I can honestly say that if I wasn't, I would be okay because I was able to build a foundation, not just with my community, but with my finances outside of streaming. I was able to really ground myself and be safe.
That's good. I mean, it's always good to have a plan, and it sounds like, you had a plan and you worked that plan, and, it definitely works for you. Cause like I said, your school journey just reminded me of my daughters. Like, my daughter's a registered nurse now. And when I heard about, when she was in school, I was like, man, that's a grind. Like, that's gotta be, rough, and you got to pay a lot of time. So, it's good to hear your perspective, to lay, the groundwork for these, future content creators who are in that same, struggle. And, I guess the best advice we can give them is, have first and foremost, have a plan. Don't just, drop everything tomorrow and say, boop, I'm going to be a full-time streamer. Make sure you have that transition plan.
I totally agree. on that. I actually just talked one of my friends out of she wanted to become full-time because she thought it just meant like dedicating your time to streaming. And I told her it's way more than that. You got to think of a scenario if you were to lose all your stars and all your supporters today, can you sustain yourself for the next 3 months off of what you made last month? And if the answer is no, then you cannot be full-time.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you even said 3 months because in the corporate America world, which I, come from, they tell you to make sure you have enough money stacked for a year before you make any moves like that. And you said 3 months, so that's kind of interesting how, with the generational change, how what used to be 1 year is now, can you sustain for 3 months? So, I hope your friend.
It probably is still a year. Could be.
Yeah.
I was looking at it.
Yeah, it could be. I mean,
yeah, it could be a year. I was looking
at it. You're looking at it
from
from your perspective.
Yeah, like my baseline for someone who wants to go full time would be like 600 to 800 supporters. That's like a recurring good amount of money to hold you for that month and the next month. So that was like my scenario. But now that you said a year, it actually makes more sense.
Yeah, because I think the misconception a lot of people have is that they turn on the stream, they see some of the bigger streamers out there, with, and the biggest streamer on Facebook, he only averages maybe about 10,000 people in his stream.
Yep.
On some of the other platforms, it's higher, but, on average, you may get 5, 6, like, I'll just speak for me. I'm lucky I get 5, 6 people on my stream that stop in for 15, 20 minutes, and I'm happy with that. But I know that I know that this isn't, streaming isn't my full-time job. So, people have that misconception that, I'm going to flip on the stream and all of a sudden 100 to 200, or like you said, 600 to 800 people are going to subscribe to me and I'm going to make all this money.
Yeah.
They don't realize a lot of these top streamers have been going at it for, 5 to 10 years, or, or they got famous from, from being like part of a gaming team and then transitioning over to streaming. Like, a lot of people don't realize the grind and the money and the investment because, you also don't want to be out there with a boo-boo looking stream and you out there in 480p and everybody else is in 1080p and you're looking grainy. People are not going to come check out your content. So they don't even realize the investment, the money, and the time that it takes to put together a good stream.
I totally agree. Investment is definitely big when it comes to streaming. You got to invest in yourself. Or honestly, no one else will even think to make that. You won't make that investment back if you don't invest in yourself the proper way. Like some people, they'll do it, but then they don't even take the time to format their mic, or like you said, their camera is looking grainy. There's so many things that I see and I'm just like, hey, did you know you can go in your settings and play with this a little bit? And then they come back and it's better. But what drives people to take the time to want to be better? Is always my question.
No, that's some good advice. I'm glad, and I'm happy and refreshed to hear that you're not afraid, because I think a lot of us content creators, when we go into other people's content, we're afraid to tell them. I have no qualms with whispering to somebody, yo, like that's how I met one of my buddies, Demo. His mic was out and he was on for like 15 minutes and nobody told him his mic was out. I was like, yo, bro, your mic is out. Like, nobody told him. People chatting in the chat and nobody told him his mic was out. We laugh about this to this day. And that's how we become good stream. And I met him just through going to his stream and telling him that he came back in my stream, and, we just, hit it off from there. So that's refreshing to hear that, because a lot of people, are afraid to have those real talks with, their streaming friends. Like you told your friend she may went away, or just if you're visiting somebody's stream, just, showing love isn't necessarily just sitting there watching. Showing love is sometimes giving them that constructive feedback that they need to make their content that much better.
I totally agree. Yeah. I try to stop it when I can, and just like, even if I'm not saying it to them in the stream, because sometimes I don't want to embarrass them. I do have some of their personal contacts, so I'll just be like, hey, did you know about this? Did you know about that? This sounds kind of weird. This looks kind of weird. And then they come back next stream and it's flawless, and you're like, yes.
They took your advice, and that's, like I said, that's part of what I call, passing on the information, sharing the love, because again, you could have just easily ignored it and said nothing, and then left them out there. But like I said, I appreciate you even more that you do that, and because people don't realize, this is not a competition. It's not and what I mean by that is, as a black man, I can if it ain't the Avengers, I can't sit there and watch you for 3 hours. I literally can't. But if you come in and stop 15, 20 minutes to say, and you chat and you interact and you hang out, because of course you got more people to support. So, like I said, I know in the past one time you've stopped in, and just said, hey, just saying hi, stopping through, and and that's what the average person should appreciate. When people come in, don't people, and I say this all the time, in our community, in the black community, we worry about, okay, well, I'm not gonna raid, TelleVision, because then all of my followers are gonna go follow her and they're never gonna watch me again. And it shouldn't be like that. And I say this, I think I read. Yeah, and it's sad that we have that crabs in the barrel mindset. It's like, nah, go show her some love. Like I said, I know there's probably gonna be about 40 to 70 people that's going to listen and watch this podcast. From my end, it's probably going to be more on your end. But guess what? Your content just got that much more viewership, because now everybody's going to go in. And I'm telling you right now, make sure you go to Facebook Gaming. The links will be in the bio. Make sure you check this young lady out. But that's how you show love, is just sharing your community with other people to say, hey, you know what? I'm not available right now, but go check this person out, because I don't even watch regular TV no more, unless it's a show that I'm really interested in. I watch on demand, but I find myself personally watching more streaming than actual regular TV. Honestly, do you find yourself doing the same?
I haven't watched a bit of TV in so long. I don't even know what's on TV anymore. I'm being honest with you. Right now, it's all about Hulu, Amazon Prime, and HBO Max. Those are my 3 go-tos.
Okay, let me ask you a question about Hulu. You watch Snowfall?
Oh, we're on Snowfall right now. Yes, we're on season 4.
Okay, without giving out too much, what do you think about that show? I mean, I love it because I grew up in that era,
Yeah.
so I can kind of relate to some of the things. But what do you, being somebody that's looking from the outside in on that era, what do you think about it?
I think it's really great at capturing character development. Like you look at season 1, you look at the characters that you meet, and then you meet them at a later season. You're like, whoa, I didn't even know they were like this. But it was all a build up to what you see today. You're like, wow. I love it. I also like the fact that at first things were connected, but the characters themselves didn't know. And then later on, you see it all coming together. It's so great. It's so great. I love that show.
Yeah, I've been telling people hands down that's probably one of the best written shows, outside of the Marvel stuff that's been coming on Disney Plus and stuff. But that's probably one of the best written shows out there that a lot of people don't even realize. And Damson Idris, if you ever hear him talk, has such a strong British accent. But when he's on the show, it reminds me of Idris Elba, because when he was Stringer Bell on The Wire, nobody knew he was I didn't even know he was from England until later on. And it was like, holy smokes. Like these guys are nailing the American accent so much that they're believable. Yeah. And for them, I know that takes a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I was pretty shocked about Idris as well.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't want to talk about him, because my wife would sit here and go goo goo gaga, and her eyes will light up like Christmas when we talk about that man. I ain't hating on them. I'm just saying, she go goo goo gaga like most women do.
Totally understand.
All right, so so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Tell us about your name. TelleVision. Tell us. Now, might be my part of the New York accent may be jacking it up. My East New York accent may be jacking it up. But TelleVision. How did you come up with that name? Where did that come from?
It's actually just television, like the word we know. So my name is Chantel, and I wanted to have something that kind of like I had a part of my name in it. So I actually was speaking with Javon at the time, and we were going through names. I wanted to be either telekinesis. That was one of them, because I'm so obsessed with the superpower.
Fire.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that would have been fire.
Telekinesis is like my ultimate. If I were to have a superpower, I'd want that one. And I think there was just another one, a play on my name, Chantel, but then I didn't want to have just my name out there. So he was like, what about television? I was like, that's not bad at all. And at first, I kind of had like me. I had an avatar of me with the television symbol. And then I rebranded it last year to just have it be a name with the symbol. It was really cool.
No, it fits.
Thank you.
No, it's cool. Like, I ain't gonna lie though, telekinesis, that would have been fire. That would have been, because I can't even say that I've seen anybody with anything similar to that. And then your spin on it, man. But you know what? Your name does fit you, because like television, it's refreshing to watch your stream. And, as I transition to my next question, kind of the struggle that, female streamers think that they have to be out here, showing their boobs and sitting in the bathtub with rubber duckies and stuff. And I feel personally you do it the right way. So what are some of the challenges, as a female streamer that when you see women do that and they don't have to do that to do it? What are some of the challenges that say, you know what? I'm not going to be part of that culture. This is how I'm going to stay in my lane over here.
So that's what I do. I mostly stay, I stay in my lane. I also align myself with women who have the same values and morals as me. Like, I always surround myself with friends who don't do that. And I wouldn't say always cover up, but embrace the clothes that they like. So I'm more so a streetwear type. I like my dad hats. I like my sweaters. I like my T-shirts. I'll have some friends, they'll come on and maybe they show a shoulder or two, but you can also see their intention. You also know that they're not here to flaunt their body or anything. They're here to play the game and interact with their community. And I align myself with that. I would say at first you would get some individuals who would try to pressure me into that, and I got them up out of there ASAP. Like, I still have people that are banned to this day from 2 years back who came in with those intentions, who saw other women doing that and came to mind like, why are you not doing this? Like, who are you? Please leave. And I would just ban them. Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird time.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I definitely applaud you for that, for carrying yourself the right way, and because my thought process has always been, when you invite that attention, you're gonna get the attention that you're looking for, and then you can't be on social media crying, "Oh, why did these guys say this?" And it's like, if you want to do that, go to OnlyFans. There's a you stream on OnlyFans. There's a platform for that. But like I said, I appreciate you doing it the right way, and definitely appreciate your stance on that. Like I said, it's very refreshing to hear that and not see that, because I just feel that I wouldn't necessarily you as women have so much more to offer, and sexuality should not be brought into, making your content better, because, it should be personality first, and everything else falls into place, second.
Yeah, I totally agree. I guess it just
Right.
you have to think of their intentions. If you can watch someone for a while and see what they're in this space for, then you can know if that's somebody you can become friends with, or potentially, have a friendship with, or if that's somebody you just move on and find someone else's stream to watch, or find someone else to build a relationship with. That's kind of how I moved in the past year.
Yeah, no, I hear that. So speaking of the past year, so were you always on Facebook Gaming, or did you start on one of the other platforms like Mix, or were you always just on Facebook Gaming?
I was actually on Twitch. So I first got recommended by a friend in 2017. This was 2017. I think it was the same time, around March, is when he told me about it, and he was just like, "Hey, I think you got the personality. I think you got the gameplay for this. They're on Twitch. If you want to watch some people," he recommended like some channels just to like give me just people to, I guess he wanted like me to do like some research on it. So I did, because I'm the type. I will sit down and watch before I dive into something, or look up something before I dive into it. So I did that, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. And at the time, I had a PlayStation, and it was very easy for me to just stream straight from the PlayStation to Twitch. So I would do that in my spare time. I was on like a big old TV. I'm talking like 40 something inches. I don't even know how I did that, because now I play on like a 27-inch monitor. So just imagine the downside. But it was insane. The reason why I switched was because, I don't know, it was discoverability on Twitch. Unless you have like some outside source, or you're like, if you're not drawing people in on other platforms, you kind of can't go anywhere. I saw a lot of follow for follow, view for view. Yeah. There were so many groups just on Facebook alone dedicated to Twitch streams. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So I heard about Facebook Gaming. I'm like, if I spend all my time on Facebook, like I've had my Facebook since like 2010. So if I spend all my time on Facebook, and all of my friends are on Facebook, it's like, why not do Facebook Gaming? So I switched over in March of 2019, and I've been with them ever since.
Wow, that's crazy. Like I said, I've shifted back and forth, but I do want to touch up on your point. I do know the struggle, because I used to game. I have my 46-inch TV is now hanging on my wall, and I used to game on that thing, and my head would be like this.
Yeah, just turning left to right.
Yeah, the full head. I'm like, oh no, I can't do this.
It was too much.
Yeah, my eyes were like, bro, you can't do that no more. You're in the young man no more. You can't. So now I'm on a 27-inch, but I probably need to go down to a 24 at some point.
Yeah, I think I might go down to a 24 too.
Yeah, because it's just too much with all that.
Yeah, it's still a little too big with the 27. I find myself like tilting my head up for my mini map and stuff. So I'll probably go down a little smaller.
So let me ask you, speaking of your monitors, what is your favorite device that you use now as part of your stream? Like, what is the one device that you said, if I upgraded to a whole new streaming studio or content creation studio, what's the one device you would take out of your current setup and bring over with you?
The Go XLR. This thing is marvelous. And there's so much I probably haven't even like dived into with it. But just stuff like this, is really cool to me. Okay, like I utilize that in my stream a lot, and people are like, "Whoa!" And I'm just like, "Right? It's the best thing." And there's so many other sounds on there that I probably haven't even touched yet. It's the best thing in the world.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I was actually on the fence of between buying that and the Rodecaster, but I only went with the Rodecaster because of my podcast. Then, so it just made more sense for me. But I've heard a lot of good things, and I know that's kind of been over the last year between the Shure mics and the Go XLR. That's kind of been like the definitely the way to go. So,
Yes.
all right, that's cool. That's cool. All right, so what is a guilty pleasure game that you play that people may not, that you may not necessarily stream, that people may not even think that you would play?
I guess I'll have to bring back in Sims to this day. Like
You still
12
play it?
Yeah, 12 years later, 13 years later, I'm still on Sims. And no, I haven't streamed it yet. I want to so badly. For me, it's like, I don't think the experience will get ruined, but for me, it's like, when I play, I'm just locked in. And
Right.
naturally on stream, you know, I'm always trying to talk to my community and stuff. So I'm just like building up the courage to kind of like tie the two together, like find a way to keep myself talking, but also enjoying the game. Because I don't want to get locked in and just sit there and people just come in to watch me play Sims. I don't want to have that experience. I want to kind of have it to be somewhere where we're talking, we're going over different topics, but they also see the Sims gameplay.
Yeah, I think a just chatting platform like that, you know, playing The Sims, or like the idea I threw about crocheting. I still think, because again, you have that personality that people would still come in and chat with you and hang out and say, look, you know, for the first hour, you know, I'm not going to stream, but I'm not going to game, but you know, let's just sit and have a conversation. Let's have a real, conversation. And I think, like I said, I see people out there streaming it. I saw one young lady; she had a nightclub going in her. I'm like,
What?
you done brought the club to The Sims. I couldn't even believe it.
There's so many mods you can do. Probably had a mod. It's like 1 million mods for Sims. Crazy.
Yeah, and I've learned that because that's what she said. She said there was a mod about adding like kind of like what Grand Theft Auto, with the modding that they have available in Grand Theft Auto. I didn't even, because I come from the era where the game came out the first time and that was it. There was no DLC, there was no patches. So again, just jumping back to COD a little bit, that's kind of my frustration, because there was a time when COD came out and COD came out. That was it. And then they added the DLC with the maps, and now they added all this other stuff, and kind of Fortnite, they kind of set up, they changed the platform, they changed the way with the microtransactions, the way that it's kind of done.
That was insane. They made so much money off of people and their kids, mostly the kids.
Yeah. Because my Fortnite trainer is a 9-year-old kid. We got 11 wins, and I've never played Fortnite till probably about a month ago. I got a 9-year-old teaching me how to play Fortnite, and he's got so many skins. So I was saying to his dad, I was like, he said, yeah, he does good in school. He rewards them, but I'm like, man, they are making a kill. They had the Marvel skins. They had John Wick recently. They had the Mandalorian. I was like, holy, like, man, this, who knew
Right.
microtransactions was going to be the way to go.
I'm not gonna lie, they kind of got me too. When I was in Fort, I do have over 50 skins, and I did log back in when Travis Scott had his skin placed in there too. Yes, I did it. I did it, and I don't regret it. It's a nice skin. It's a nice skin.
Yeah. I've always knocked Fortnite as being, to me, it's still a little kid's game, but I actually did enjoy, and now I'm starting to play with my nieces and nephews off stream, but I actually do. That would be my guilty pleasure game. I don't stream it, and I always used to talk bad about it, but then I saw it's like, wow, it's actually, see, I play it like COD. I ain't got time to be building no bridges, no nothing. I'm just out there shooting. Like, I'm just shooting. I ain't got time for all
that.
that.
Or something. They're gonna get you. So me,
Nah,
when I play,
I'll hide.
I do a 1x1, and that's it. I don't go up top. I do it 1x1, and that's it. That's all you get from me. But I just like to hide myself on all sides while I decide what I'm going to do.
Yeah, see, that's why I hide behind the building or duck or do whatever. But I ain't got time to be building. He does. He actually got a 20 kill game, and he was like, "Yeah, this is my first 20 kill game of the season." So me and his dad was like, "So apparently you do this often, huh? Because neither one of us have a 20 kill game in COD, and apparently you getting 20s in Fortnite like it's nothing."
Right. That's insane. That's insane.
These the younger. I always tell people the younger kids they'll have the best generation because all they know is technology, and all they know is how to make it further advanced. Where, like I said, I always say I got lucky that I came in as technology was just changing. You know, we were going from the 8-bit to the 16-bit to the 32-bit to the 64 gaming systems. Now you just worry about having 120 FPS. Like that's all you know. So all you know is clarity.
It's crazy.
All right, so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What has been your greatest streaming achievement at this point in your journey? What is the thing you're most proud of?
I would say okay, it's a toss-up between partnership and the scholarship.
Okay. You can talk about both.
Okay. Yeah. So the partnership actually came at a time where I thought, like, I was wondering, like, you know, was it coming? Am I doing anything right? And am I, like, what am I doing here? And I had a friend. She was just saying, like, you know, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Like, nothing's wrong. It's going to come. And it was literally after one of my streams, and I saw the invite, and I screamed. Like, I literally screamed in this very chair and everything. And I was so excited because I felt like they see me, like they finally see like what I'm doing, and
right.
They notice me. And when I announced and everything, and everyone came by, it was really great to witness and be a part of. Then also, so now going over to the scholarship, that's another thing too. Like sometimes when I apply to things or it's something really major, I always ask, like, am I ready for this? Am I doing what I need to be doing? So that was also a question that I asked myself when I applied, but I just went ahead and applied because I felt deep down that I am, and I knew it was just my thoughts playing tricks and trying to have me doubt myself. So I went for it, and when I got it, it was another crazy feeling because it's like, what? You know, you have all these thoughts that try to steer you away. And when you go for something and you get it, it's like, yes, like you did it.
Yeah. And like I said, I was so happy to see when you got that scholarship and, you know, like I said, just following your journey and stuff like that. But how has that how has it changed your life? Like, and for those that don't know, Pipeline, you know, every quarter has been, you know, if you're not a member of Pipeline, by the way, shame on you. You know, Tell is a member. I'm a member. You know, it's a great thing. It's a great, and, you know, people look at Pipeline as, you know, and I've heard different things about it, but for me, finding your niche was my biggest thing that I took away from Pipeline because I found my niche in podcasting and not live streaming. You know, you found your niche and moving to, you know, full-time content creator, but they offer a scholarship that you have to apply for. You know, they give you, what is it, like $2,000 a month for 3 months. They give you access to their video editing, and you learn a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. But, you know, how has that scholarship really changed your content creation? Like, really, you know, like, what did it do for you?
It helped me find, like, it helped me answer the question, like, why am I in this space? And what's my purpose here? Where do I want to go? So before, I wasn't all together with time management. And I know a lot of people struggle with this, but I was literally the worst. I would probably say, okay, I'm going to stream for like 4 hours today. And I would do my 4 hours and I get off and I sit there and be like, what now? But I have so many projects that I need to take care of, but no structure. So they helped me find that structure. I got introduced to Google Calendar. So now I use Google Calendar like faithfully. I even input like my bike rides, my writing. I write in my journal. I put that there too to check it off. And it's been really helpful in keeping me on track. Zoom calls are in there too. So another part of the scholarship was one-on-one mentorship with the pipeline staff. So those calls also helped with marketing, community growth, content growth, content planning. It was a really good experience.
Wow. And see, and that's the one thing a lot of, and you just, again, hit the nail on the head with another point. A lot of people don't realize how much time management, skills you need when you're in this space, because you plan to do, like you said, you'll be on stream for 4 hours, and then it's like, okay, well, what next? What do I do next? And knowing you have all this stuff and knowing that you have little time, it's like, then you wake up and it's like, it's time to stream again. By the time you wake up and you're about your day, it's time to stream again. So wow, that's actually a good point. I would have never thought that, again, I know the importance of pipeline, but teaching somebody like time management skills is so critical in this world today. Wow.
It definitely is.
All right. So our next segment is brought to you by Diamond the Doula. If you're looking for a more holistic way to satisfy, for natural healing, I was recently diagnosed with a bad back. She sent me some oils, and I rub the oil on my back once a night, and it allows me to sit here and do these podcasts every week. So again, if you're looking for a more holistic way towards natural healing, make sure you visit diamondanddoula.com. She doesn't deal in CBD now. She doesn't do CBD oils, but all your other oil and natural needs, definitely reach out to her. Link will be in the bio. Check her out. So I want to head over now to a rapid fire session. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. There's no right or wrong answer. And if you got a story, anything behind it, please, by all means, share. Some of them I'll know the answer to. Some of them I'm just going to throw out there. But some I'm going to try to stump you with at least one or two.
Okay.
All right. Console or PC?
PC.
Twitch or Facebook gaming?
Facebook gaming.
All right. Controller or mouse and keyboard?
Controller.
Okay. Would you rather have 100,000 followers on YouTube or 100,000 followers on Facebook gaming?
100,000 followers on YouTube.
YouTube? And I want to ask why. I'm curious. Like that now you stumped me. I'm curious. Why YouTube?
Notification wise, I believe more people get notified on YouTube over Facebook gaming, and you have more terms or more chance to be monetized greatly in your content if you have 100,000 followers on YouTube than 100,000 on Facebook.
Okay, hey, that's good perspective. No, never thought of it that way. Sims or COD?
Ooh.
There we go. We got her.
Sims. I'm gonna go Sims. Sims forever.
Sims forever. Okay. Like I said, I always try to throw one out there that'll try to stump you, get that oof reaction out of you. All right. Big or Tupac?
Ooh. I almost said Tupac. I'm gonna go Biggie.
All right. Hey, don't go big. I have had people from New York even say Tupac, but okay, Big. Okay, B.I.G. all day. Now, here's the newest argument that's out there.
Okay.
Drake or Jay-Z?
What we talking? Like
whatever. No, whatever. In whatever mind space you interpret the question in, there's no right or wrong. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. These are just your thoughts.
I'm gonna go Drake.
Drake, okay. Nicki or Cardi B? Nicki, okay. I always get a toss up with that too. And to close out the show, the biggest one of all, drum roll.
Oh Lord.
Foxy or Little Kim?
Why? I'm gonna get so much heat for this. I'm gonna go Kim. I'm gonna go Little Kim.
You gonna go Kim?
Yes.
Okay. Listen, you're not gonna catch no heat because again, everybody has their preference. Everybody has their preference. That's good. Like I said, I always love those, and like I said, I tailor these questions just based on our conversation. So please don't give her no flack. This is just what popped into her head at the moment, and tomorrow, when she's during her content, her answer may change. You don't know. This depends on the mood. So, but. Appreciate you participating in that session. So I was going to ask you just a couple more questions. If there was a movie made about your entire life, from the time you talked about, that you spent with your mom to the point that you are in now, who would be in the starring role that would tell a story of your life? What actress would step in and play you?
Ooh, that's a great question. Somebody to capture. Wow. I want to go Gabrielle Union. I feel like she
Okay.
can capture the younger side of me, like that shy, timid type, to now a more outgoing woman doing what she loves.
Wow, yeah, that's actually a good choice. Now I was thinking Nicole Behari.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think. She was in see, I know her from Sleepy Hollow. That's where she started.
Hmm.
But she's been in a lot of movies, but she has that same rate. But Gabrielle Union is, like I said, I think that's a good choice because that woman. First of all, that woman has never aged. She's probably closer to my age, and I don't think that woman has aged a year in years. Like she still looks the same from what was the cheerleader movie she was in back in the day?
Why is
You know
that
which one?
coming to me? Yeah, I do know which one.
But it
you're
was
talking
wearing the
about.
green out. From that movie to seeing her marriage to Dwayne Wade, she's barely aged a bit.
Agreed.
Barely aged.
Definitely.
Wow.
Agreed.
Yeah. Man, she can probably do you now in your teen years to the point you are now without even missing a beat. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. So, and when you decide, 20, 30 years, because I see, and I'm going to just give you some, honest truth. I see you, streaming as far as, Tactical Gamma, and I seen you, stream with her, and she's, older than me in her 50s. And I see you doing content creation that long because, again, you put out great content. But when you retire from content creation, what would you like to most be remembered for?
How I showed up to stream, how I interacted with people, not just like in my stream, but outside too when I'm going around checking on my friends, just how they felt seeing my name in their chat or seeing a notification that I went live, just for that feeling. That's what I want to be remembered for.
Wow, that's good. And, and true to form, you always, like I said, for those of you watching the video or listening to the audio, she definitely makes her content creation all about her community. And it's no surprise to hear her give that answer that she just wants to be remembered for the love she showed her community. Like that feeling, like you said, when that notification pop up and they like, ooh, Telly's on, let me go jump in and hop in and say hi. Like that's definitely an awesome feeling. So before we wrap up, tell us, when you're not, content creating yourself, who are some of the content creators that we need to be aware of out there that, we need to show some love to? Like I said, when I'm not content creating, I'll hop in your stream, I'll hang out for a couple of minutes, I'll hop in some other streams. But from your point of view, when you're not on, when you're not content creating, who should we be checking out for?
Okay, so definitely first and foremost, I would like to shout out Miss Fun Size. She was on Mixer. Yeah, she is. She's really dope and somebody I look up to and am very inspired by. She is partnered on 2 platforms, and that girl is killing the game. Yes. Right. And we also have Malaysia. She's also from Brooklyn, like me, and her personality matches mine. We really mesh really good. We also have I Slay Gaming. I'm actually pretty new to her. I just met her last year, but her personality is so infectious. And one more, I would like to shout out Miss Lotus. Miss Lotus is definitely a sweetheart, down to earth, and all around good person.
Oh man, amen to that, man. It's all I know Miss Funside. I don't know her personally, but I know of her content from Mixer. That's where I came from. I'm definitely gonna check out the other names, and again, make sure you guys check out these other streamers that she laid down, because again, we need to be out here showing love. It's not a competition. Even, you don't even realize, in addition to, not everybody can subscribe. We get it. But when you come in and you hang out 10, 15, 20 minutes, that actually helps, and just come in and say hi. Come in and, hit that like button, type in exclamation notify in the chat, of course, because we want you to know when we go live. We want you to know when Telly goes live. And make sure that you just come back and check it out and just show some love. And trust me, her chat is mad chill. And, I always ask her when she's going home, and the days of pizza and White Castles, and even before stream, we was talking. Even before we became live, we was talking about the struggles of getting on the 4 train at Utica Avenue, and I think everybody from Brooklyn knows the struggle of 2 struggles. 1, getting on the 4 train at Utica Avenue, and 2, waiting for the 46 bus to go to Kings Plaza. 2 biggest struggles in Brooklyn.
46 is impossible. It's impossible, especially sometimes when they don't even stop and you just keep going. You're like, hey, you see us here? Like, stop.
Yeah, it'd be so crowded. It says next bus, catch next bus or something like that. Because I used to catch the 46 from the 6 at Avenue, I want to say Avenue J or something like that. Right after Kings Highway, coming from the Crown. Right, as soon as you cross over Kings Highway, there's a stop. There's a little junction there where you can catch where you catch a 6 bus. And I mean, it was used to be just so. And you just sit in the bus and you're just like, oh my God, I'm gonna be out here for an hour. The second worst bus in Brooklyn is the 78 bus, the Ralph Avenue bus. But we ain't even gonna talk about that crazy bus. But I know the 46 is, shout out to all the dollar van drivers out there that made a killing because the 46 bus was so terrible.
They really did. They did.
So let everybody know, of course, we know we can find you on Facebook Gaming, but again, we'll have links to your socials. Make sure you follow her socials for notifications of when she's going live. Make sure you follow on Facebook Gaming, but let everybody know your schedule and when they can find you on. And I know sometimes you do bonus streams, but when is the hard schedule when they can find you online?
Yeah, of course. So you can definitely find me live from 10 a.m. Pacific to 12 p.m. Pacific. Sometimes I like to hop in, like you said, a bonus, maybe around the 5, 6 p.m., but definitely the 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. slot.
Okay. You heard it here first. And again, Telly, I thank you, for coming on, and you're a true testament of the saying that I have, and I actually just put it on some merch. Never be afraid to bet on yourself. And, again, Telly showed that, she took a step out on faith. She bet on herself, and she's one of the leading, one of the top female streamers on Facebook Gaming today. So please make sure that you check out. And as we always end the stream, you could have spent your time doing anything in the world, but you spend it with me, and I appreciate it. Yo, big up Brooklyn. Yo, Pharoah is out. Peace.
It's Team Monday.